My name's Gareth Yates. I'm a detective on the Economic Crime Unit. I suppose most people will widely know that unit as the fraud unit. I've been in the job now coming up to 20 years, and I've been on this posting for the last 2.5 years.
The Economic Crime Unit is broke into two sections. So the first section is people like myself, detectives who work on the fraud investigations. The second part is obviously the financial investigators, and they will deal with confiscation orders, so taking money from criminals. What I will say about fraud at the moment, it's one of the highest recorded crimes. It's massively growing and it's going to continue growing. The reason why that crime group is growing, that being fraud, is because of the digital age we're now in. Everyone has a mobile phone, everyone has a tablet, and that allows fraudsters to come directly to you. Fraudsters by their very nature are professional in what they do. They see it as a job. They see it just as like ourselves, we'll come to work and do an 8 to 5. That's what fraudsters will do. They will kind of look for that constant hook, and they'll do that in any means possible, whether that be an investment fraud, whether that be a romance fraud, or whether that be someone just literally turning up at your door to try and do the roof. They will use any tactics they can to get money from you, and that's all they're after, money. Operation Bouncer was what we class as a fraud investigation into rogue trading. Unfortunately, this job itself involved a lot of elderly persons, so someone had to class as the most vulnerable in society. As a result of that, obviously we did a warrant. We're obviously in the process now of taking vehicles, houses, etc. off those criminals.
One of the key aspects of being a fraudster is that rapport stage. So they kind of befriend you, they kind of learn you as a creature really, and they know what makes you tick, and it's that kind of builds that trust, and it builds that kind of position where they can say, right, oh by the way, can you send me £10,000? And people do. We have this culture of victim blaming, that people, how can people fall for that, or why would they do that? Unfortunately, fraudsters are very elaborate, they're very good at what they do, and unfortunately their role is to take money from people. This misconception that we're constantly sat behind our desk, that's not the case at all. I say we're often going out to see the victims, give them reassurance, taking further evidence, and just kind of updating them on the general case.
When I speak to most victims in this role, there's always been a little alarm bell in the back of their mind. They've not quite had the courage or to speak out and to speak to someone. If they did, then maybe the outcome would be different. The first thing I would say to anyone is if they're offered an opportunity, whether that be investment or anything else, is just slow down, take your time and think about it. Unfortunately, these amazing deals don't exist. So just take your time, slow down, speak to a family member, speak to a friend, and they will give you good, solid advice.